United Kingdom from Indonesia. I'm Chris Wren, the CEO of the British Chamber of Commerce here in Indonesia. I'm really sorry that we can't be with you today to make this presentation actually in person. We do come out twice a year, and we'll try to make sure that the next time we come, we're at your particular venue. So first of all, my appreciation to your host and our host for giving us this opportunity to send in this remote presentation on Indonesia, which is a great, dynamic and exciting country to learn more about. During this presentation, we're just going to go through some very brief highlights, and also to give you a flavour for what we as a chamber and as part of our overseas business network, what we can actually do for you in support of your market access pursuits in Southeast Asia generally and Indonesia in particular. As an organisation, we have 230 entities as members. They're corporates of many sizes and also a few individuals. Those entities are represented by a community of around about 1,000. What that actually makes us is the largest Chamber of Commerce here in Indonesia. We're also very proud that we're the most active Chamber of Commerce as well, with over 65 events that cover a whole range of activities, including niche groups that we're proud to have exclusively as ours within the Chamber: a professional women's group, a young professionals group. We actively promote a ministerial series and a CEO series, amongst all the other regular opportunities that we provide for members to interact with other members. In fact, the statistic that we're most proud of is that we are the chamber where our members do the most intra-membership business. Very simply, we work like this. If it's available on our shelf, if it's in my head, or it's information that's available among our membership, we can offer it to you. If, however, we need to allocate resources on your behalf specifically to tailor something to support your business, then we have to offer that as part of a chargeable service. Those charges, to this day, remain very heavily subsidised through grants we receive from the Department of International Trade, way below market prices. As I mentioned, the relevance, the depth, the quality, the asset of our membership makes us better placed than most other service providers or business development consultancies. More often than not, you'll find us referring you to a panel of our members that can help you with things like company formation, taxation, visas, customs regulations, imports, distributors, and others. We generally have two ways in which businesses ask us to help them. The first is with some form of rather more specific market research than is available through desktop research. The second is through a visit program. Visit programs have a very high success rate. That is when we understand the profile of exactly who you would like to meet, who you would like to have as potential partners. We network that opportunity with Indonesian businesses here. They know what you want, you know who they are, and it means all you have to do is arrange your ticket, and we can do the rest and make sure that you are very quickly effective in this country. How did you get the permissions? What were the barriers you had to jump over, and how did you do that?
We work closely with advisors like British Chamber of Commerce, similar to what we have done in other countries we've opened in Asia. Britcham's always somewhere we would go first, and we've got a good relationship with them. Purely from a knowledge point of view, it's very hard to open Indonesia from Singapore. You have to have somebody on the ground who's willing to spend the time, patience, sense of humour to really understand how the country works. And it's such a relationship-led country, and that's really where the similarity with China is. Guanxi and all these things are very similar here. It's about who you know as much as what you know.
It's been very important. I think when you're coming to a country like Indonesia, you have the benefit of working with an organisation that has the depth of local knowledge, an understanding of the culture is immensely important. I believe this trip is my 23rd trip in approximately 2 years. So that is the level of dedication that you require.
Sure. Well, this workshop provided a tremendous opportunity for BMT to showcase its expertise in the mining, and thanks to Britcham, the audience that was chosen were well targeted to the mining industry.
Enlisted Britcham services to deal with contacting the customers in the first place. So they found some great customers for us, potential customers for us.
Yeah.
And then organised the meeting structure, the timing of the meetings, who to meet, their email addresses, etc., etc. Did all the introductions first. So then actually on the actual meeting days, the meetings were structured morning and afternoon, and arranged the car, transportation, accompanying service, everything was included.
Current situation is that we want to get the pilots up and running, see how the market is perceiving this, and the idea would be to set up something permanently here.
And I guess that some of these are also available through the British Chamber of Commerce.
Correct, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, the support's been fantastic, because if I'd come here on my own, I probably wouldn't have had a clue where to start. The currency's a challenge. I've never sort of managed to divide by 19,000 before to work out what the price actually is. The language is obviously different. Transport, infrastructure, the whole thing is quite challenging. So people here have been very helpful in just getting the basics done, getting from A to B, getting product in, getting refrigeration, getting product cleared and everything. So it's invaluable having a resource on the ground that can actually help just get to day one of the show.
Obviously, like anything in business, it's good to take your time and do things properly and correctly. And in the whole process to get to the stage we're at now took 3 to 4 months, which is just getting meetings, but they're the right meetings. So take your time, be patient, and on the day.
My perspective would be you need buckets of patience and tolerance. It's a country that you cannot change. So you have to go with the way the country operates. If you're prepared to do that, then I believe you can be successful, as we have been successful.
Yeah. We now advise companies on this is your step-by-step plan. And once we've spoken to the British Chamber of Commerce and Chris Wren and the guys there who really know it, you get your step-by-step plan. It's actually not as hard as everybody thinks. That is, to answer your question originally, why is Indonesia slow to take off? It's not now. So when my CEO talks to the shareholders on his monthly call, Indonesia is becoming far more towards the top of the agenda than it ever has been. And that means great opportunity for Indonesia. However, it still needs to be put into perspective that it's a country you have to learn first and then influence later for.
Career, it takes time and patience, and unfortunately a lot of British business is short-term thinking, and if the results aren't there in the financial year, they just say, well, we're wasting our money. So it needs small companies with a lot of energy and a lot of backing that really want to spend time in these markets and develop them, because there is, like I said earlier, there's no quick fix. You don't come here and walk away with a big order book in day one.
And I think with support from the Britcham and also our BKPM here, so we need and we can do more of this kind of activities, for the benefit of the trade and investment relationship between Indonesia and the UK.
In fact, the journey has to start somewhere, and this is a country too big for you to ignore. Given that companies don't turn their back on this market once they're in, it is really, really prudent advice for me to say, start that journey sooner, start learning about the opportunities sooner, start to reap the benefits that are this great archipelago of Indonesia sooner rather than later.